If it's one thing we are going to do, it's going to be to focus on our mental health. Because y'all, we ain't out here trying to deal with perimenopause, just the physical stuff and not like the mental health. Like, no. I'm not going to be another person who ignores my mental health because someone else wants to focus on my fucking hot flashes. Hey sis, hey, my name's Grace, I'm 47, I'm a perimenopausal baddie. Welcome to my channel. Just because you're a woman does not mean you have to suffer. It seems like we live in this very dichotomistic world where it's either mental health has become completely capitalistic and just oversaturated with products and buy this, or it's just not talked about it at all. And I feel like there is some middle ground that we need to explore when it comes to perimenopause. Because what we not finna do is overlook mood swings, overlook irritability, overlook anxiety, and all the different kind of things that accompany perimenopause. Here's 3 quick and dirty ways for you to focus on your mental health while going through perimenopause. 1, it seems so simple, y'all. Have a friend, be a friend, talk to your friends, your girlies. You have girlfriends. If you don't have girlfriends, seek out your girlfriends. Tell your girlfriends the truth. Tell them what you're going through. Listen to them. Offer support, seek support. Offer advice, seek advice. Offer love and compassion, seek love and compassion. Be vulnerable, receive vulnerability. I know this seems so simple, but having the support of loved ones, particularly your girlies, who are compassionate and empathetic and kind, who you love and trust, is a big part of healthy mental health. Seeking support from my girlies is something I've always done. I've always been a girly girl. I've always been a girl's girl. I've always had girl best friends. So that's been actually pretty easy and flowed into my life, but I can't emphasize to you enough how much in this last year or 2 or 3 or 4 since I've been dealing with perimenopause symptoms, how much my girlies have meant to me, and how much just speaking to them, literally just leaving them voice messages, because we voice message on WhatsApp and on Voxer, just leaving them voice messages sometimes on days I was feeling like unaliving myself would kind of pull me out of it. Just telling them, like, here's what I did today, here's what I planned to do today. Just listening to them tell me stories of what they were doing or how things were going with their kids was good for my soul. And so I try to, in every way that I possibly can, invest in my female relationships. I really lean on my girlies, and I hope you do the same. Number 2, seek counseling or a therapist. Y'all, do not be afraid to seek therapy. I'm a therapy girly. I've been to therapy on and off since I was, oh my God, I don't even remember. I think 19. I've never had any issues with therapy. I know some people, particularly in the Black community, grow up with this sense of like therapy is for the weak. I used to think that about antidepressants. Trust me, I no longer think that about antidepressants. I'm on them, okay?
I am on the Zola.
In terms of therapists, I never had any preconceived notions, so I've been going on and off, and it has been life-changing, life-saving, life-altering. There was one therapist that I went to who was a male who I started talking to about perimenopause, and it was very obvious to me that he did not get it.
And how could he, as a man?
This is an experience he will never have, but I kept trying. And after about, I don't even know how many sessions, I realized this is not a good fit for this phase of my life. Now, there's a lot of things that he really helped me through, particularly to escape a domestic violence situation. But for perimenopause, it was pretty obvious that we were not aligning. I decided to end that relationship in that way. If I'm ever in a place where I feel like I need to talk to a therapist again, specifically about perimenopausal issues that I'm having, particularly related to mental health, I will definitely see a woman. Sometimes it's difficult even to connect with people who you might think would get it. There's been a couple of therapists that I've went to over the years that after the first session I realized like we're just really not a match. Something feels off and you have to trust your gut. So if you go to therapy and you don't feel good in the first couple sessions, that doesn't mean therapy's not for you. It just might mean that particular therapist isn't for you. And if you're looking for a therapist, there's a service called Find My Therapist that one of my very best friends started up, where you can search for the kind of therapist that you need in the state that you need, who's licensed in your state. So I'll put the link below, go check him out. And number 3 is yet another very simple, but it has to be said, sleep. Yes, sleep. I know it's so simple and you're like, Grace, these are the 3 most simplest ass things I've ever heard in life, but it's true. It's true, y'all. Sleep is important at every stage, for sure. But in perimenopause, it's even more important. These fluctuating levels of estrogen and progesterone, as we know, are really fucking up our nighttime schedule. It's leading to insomnia and hot flashes, which are waking us up, the night sweats and the mood swings and all of that. Getting more sleep actually does reduce those symptoms. Also, getting quality sleep helps to regulate our hormones so that we aren't experiencing these major fluctuations which lead to all these major sleep disturbances. Even just getting adequate sleep, and I want us to try harder than adequate, but even just getting adequate sleep can really reduce the severity of our symptoms. And that's gonna improve our mood, and that's gonna lead to a better quality of life, and that's gonna lead us to be happier, and that's gonna lead us to be better mommies, and that's gonna lead us to be better partners, and that's gonna lead us to have better sex, and that's gonna lead to better sleep. See? It's like one big circle of life. Circle of life. Or something like that. And here's y'all a little free bonus tip. Number 4, don't be afraid of antidepressants. Y'all, please do not be afraid of antidepressants. Antidepressants really work. If you've never taken them before, just be aware that when you first take an antidepressant, sometimes you feel worse for the first 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 10 days, even 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And I really wish I had known that, because I got diagnosed with PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, when I was 32. So it was not a part of perimenopause. It has gotten worse in perimenopause, but when I was diagnosed with it when I was 32, I got put on an antidepressant, and for the first 2 weeks, I felt literally terrible. Like I wanted to run and jump off a building every day. I felt completely suicidal. And I was just like, this isn't working. And I went back to my doctor and was like, I can't do this. This has made everything worse. And I just went off of them and never talked about it again for another year. Went back to a therapist the next year, or to a psychiatrist, excuse me. And the psychiatrist was like, oh yeah, sometimes you do experience suicidal ideations. Just kind of be on the lookout. For some people it's only like an hour, for some people it's a couple days, it can be up to 2 weeks. And so then I tried a different drug. The first time I tried Wellbutrin, this next time I tried Zoloft. I knew what I was looking for. I knew what to be afraid of. I was married at the time. I let my ex-husband know, and I was depressed for like a week. Really majorly depressed. And then all of a sudden,
it got so much better, and it was like my whole world just opened up.
Within 2 weeks or 3 weeks of being on Zoloft, that second time I tried it, it was just like I had never felt so happy in my life. I could not believe I had went my whole life struggling through depression the way that I had, so significantly, without antidepressants. Like, antidepressants have saved my life. Fully, completely, thoroughly saved my life. If I hadn't been on them, I can assure y'all I would have unalived myself already. And then for a while I went off of them because I've had 2 babies since then. And then after my 3rd and final child, I was not on them because I didn't want to be on them while I was pregnant and nursing. I went through domestic violence, and at some point I was like, I just have to get back on these because I can't live like this, clearly. While we were getting divorced and all of that, I went back on them, and again,
life-saving.
Then I left my full-time work, left my full-time insurance. Once I lost my insurance, I lost my access to my antidepressants, and for I think it was 14 months that I was not on them, and I was perimenopausal, and I was experiencing PMDD, and I was experiencing complex PTSD, like heightened, and I was escaping domestic violence and learning to be a single mother of 3 all by myself. And I was pretty much wanting to unalive myself once a month, right around my cycle. So I knew it was hormone related. And I was like, I have to get back on these, come hell or high water. Then I got on insurance that allowed me to get antidepressants, and once again, I am back on them. And I am just like, at this point, I'm just not going off of them. I'm on a fairly low normal dose. I've been on much higher doses before, but it seems like right now I'm doing okay with just the dose I'm on. But let me tell y'all, being willing to ask for help and get help when you need it, especially via medication, is something I strongly suggest. Please do not be afraid of it. I am, in the next month or 2, going to be looking into hormone replacement therapy, and I will love to take y'all on this journey to me as I go and do that, and I will. But for now,
it's the Zoloft for me, baby, okay? It's the Zoloft for me, baby.
Then I also have anti-anxiety meds that I take on an as-needed basis. And if I need to take something else, I'm not afraid to take it. Like I said before, what we're not gonna do in perimenopause is run from these things. Mental health is way too important. We're gonna talk to our girlies. We're gonna get on some antidepressants. We're gonna talk to a therapist if we need it, and we gonna get our sleep, okay? We gonna take our naps. We gonna sleep in as often as we can. We're gonna go to bed early. We're gonna start a nighttime routine. We're gonna do what we need to do to take care of ourselves, right? All right, okay. I'm glad we have a deal. If you're in perimenopause and your girlies are in perimenopause, please send this to them, share with someone. Please boopity boop the like button for me, subscribe, and follow along on this journey with me. I love y'all. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all later. Bye.